Why does Daredevil worry about getting fat? Because he doesn't watch what he eats. Welcome to Comic Book Editions, Volume 196. I have some great Marvel and DC items that I've added into my collection, including some back issues to share in today's video. I'm glad that you'd stop by to check it out. Let's get started. Wall decor is where we start. Last week, Marvel released a brand new Dazzler poster. It's by Bob Larkin, and it's like the cover to Dazzler Volume 1, Issue 1 from 1980. So back in Comic Book Editions, Volume 121, I showed you this beautiful Art Germ Disco Dazzler poster that they released, which I'm still in love with. And then I was kind of surprised this past April. They did a Dazzler first appearance poster from X-Men 130 to tie in with that month's facsimile release. So when they solicited another Dazzler poster so soon, it kind of blew my mind, but I'm not complaining at all. I got to get matching frames for all of these. I have one frame already, and I need to get back to the store I bought that from to get the other two frames so I can get these hung up. I know some of you would be happy if I would get some stuff on the blank wall behind me. And it is a future goal of mine, hopefully sooner than later. But thanks for still sticking with my channel and my video despite the lack of eye candy in the background. I did an all Dazzler video in my Comic Book Editions Volume 189 with some awesome things to check out in that video if you haven't already. Maybe some stuff that you haven't or rarely ever see as well related to the Disco Queen herself. And I am excited for Dazzler's upcoming miniseries, the 4-issue one, plus the month of Disco Dazzler variants that Marvel will be releasing to promote that. I think there's going to be like maybe 15 different covers that month, so I'm excited to see everything I have to choose from. And last week, besides the Dazzler poster, it wasn't all the Dazzler we got, because Marvel did release an Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6, Issue 51. This is one of their Disney What If covers that they've been doing exclusively on the Amazing Spider-Man line. And I have a few of these that I normally don't show these, but just the common covers. I usually only show the incentive variants on my channel, but for the funsies of it, I wanted to share this today. Interesting story as well. I wasn't aware that Peter Parker has become the Spider-Goblin. And in this issue, he decides to take revenge via mind control of the Sinister Six. And let's just say that they're pretty concerned about their adversary because it's Spider-Man with his unlimited power, but he's, essentially mind controlled and as being the new Green Goblin. So he doesn't have that filter to stop him where he normally would stop. Speaking of Spider-Man, last week, I did an all Spider-Man haul video from the Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man run, rather, in the Bronze Age. You can check that out in Comic Book Editions Volume 195 already on my channel. And I'll have some more Spider-Man to show you in the upcoming weeks and months here on my YouTube channel. But a good story, and I do love these Disney What If covers. I've kind of been picking and choosing which ones I wanted to get, but if they did a poster of this would be a must-have for me as well. To see Minnie Mouse's Disco Dazzler is pretty awesome. I did see they have coming up in the future solicited a Disney What If cover with Donald and Daisy Duck recreating X-Men 137 with the Fate of the Phoenix, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up getting that at some point as well. I spent time with my friend Brian last week, and Brian's a very thoughtful man, always bringing some gifts, and this time he brought me a lenticular Wonder Woman Hallmark card. It's meant as a birthday card for her. That would be the category it would be for. And he knew that I love classic Wonder Woman. I think maybe you can see here at some points she has her arms in the classic hero stance, and then lenticularly she's got them up in the bullets and bracelets, and it says fierce on there too. So fierce, brave, strong. And then the inside text says, "A woman like you deserved the world's most amazing birthday." But Brian knew that this being classic Wonder Woman, I definitely want this for my collection. And I never had seen this before. So of course I wanted this for my collection. So another great remembrance from an awesome friend. Brian, extremely generous, always has. That's just in his nature. He doesn't ever have, he or no one has to get me anything. But I just love spending time with him. And hopefully next time I see him, we'll get a chance to do a little comic book hunting, because he got to go to a comic book store in my area that I haven't had the chance to go to yet. So I got the full scoop on the store as well. But thank you, Brian, for thinking of me. Let's show some more comic books. Hawkman number 17. This is Hawkman volume 2, issue 17 for 1987. This was the final issue from the series. Ed Hannigan doing the artwork. Story by Dan Mishkin. This is the final series, a final issue of the series, as I just mentioned. I am only one issue away from having the full run, and the one that I'm missing is the previous issue, issue 16. So I need to get that. I'm so glad that I picked up and started completing the run, because I had some of these originally as a childhood collector and then stopped. But I'm happy that I went back and started filling in this run, because I've enjoyed these stories immensely. In this one, it starts out Hawkman in full rage because he believes that Shayera, Hawkwoman, has died. And he is completely out of control. And he does get reunited and find out that Shayera did not die. In this issue, we have Gentleman Ghost as well, and it ties up a lot of loose ends. This entire series, volume 2, was really good, and I've done a lot of rereads on those this year. And just got to get that last one, issue 16, so I can make sure that I can say I've completed this series. Filling in some of these run gaps has been a priority for me in many of my Marvel and DC titles. So much more than just starting a new back issue series. I want to fill in the gaps from what I'm missing. And we're keeping at DC. Look at this classic cover with the Justice League. So is Flash getting kicked out of the Justice League? That's the question. And Flash, volume 2 from 1983, issue 327. Carmine Infantino doing the artwork here. Cary Bates writing the story. This was I don't know how I missed this back as an original childhood collector, because this definitely looks like something I would have picked up too. But the Justice League is deciding whether or not they're going to kick Flash out of the league, and as they're voting on it, it ends up being a tie. So at the very end of the story, Superman arrives at the satellite, and they need Superman to break the tie, and that's kind of the cliffhanger. And I thought, because I don't have the issue after this, but I went on the DC Digital app, and I wanted to see how the story concluded. Those sneaky dogs. So in the very next issue, they pick up where they left off, and then do kind of like a whole recap story of how Flash got to this point of being kicked out of the Justice League. And then 328, the next issue, its cliffhanger is the exact same cliffhanger as this issue. So this issue ends with Superman showing up, going to cast his vote if Flash stays or not. And then the end of the next issue, the same cliffhanger. Superman's like, well, I'm ready to cast my vote. And then that's it for that issue. And you have to go into 329 to figure out what his vote was. So those dirty dogs really stretched that story out for this one. I'm going to turn to some Bronze Age Marvel, but first I do want to remind you that if you're new to my channel and haven't subscribed yet, it's a perfect opportunity to show support to my channel. The algorithm loves when you give the video a thumbs up, a heart, and a like, and I love your comments. So helping me out in any of those territories or sharing this channel and video with someone else that you think might be interested is another great way to show support. Thank you so much for the support and friendship that I get from you on a consistent basis. So you guys are awesome. Let's get into that classic Marvel. Daredevil, the run where Black Widow became a guest star or a permanent guest star, then eventual co-headliner, is the run that I'm really working on. This is Daredevil Volume 1, Issue 82 from 1971. Gil Kane doing the artwork on this cover. So outside of the story, I do want to start out with a one-page advertisement. I want to talk about this one-page advertisement that I found inside. It was for a Tammy Wynette Greatest Hits album. And first of all, I thought that was interesting marketing to promote a Tammy Wynette Greatest Hits in a one-page ad inside of a comic book. That's interesting. What caught my attention was like this little bold headline that said, and this is exactly what it said, "Enjoy Tammy Wynette free for 10 days. Okay. I do love Tammy Wynette. I've been a fan back in my country radio days. I did get the chance to meet her 3 times. She was exceptional every time. That's maybe a different story for another time. But I have fantastic memories of firsthand experience with Tammy Wynette. But I don't remember seeing many country music ads, let alone Tammy Wynette, in a comic book. So, Interesting. And then also, since I've kind of veered off comic book topic a little bit, we have Scorpion as the villain in this issue. For my birthday, I had one of my coworkers at that time gave me an actual scorpion. It was a lollipop that she got in California with a scorpion inside of it. No, I haven't done anything except for look at it, but she gave me that as a birthday gift. I was waiting for her to say bug off, but she never did. Okay, so we have the return of the Scorpion here in this issue. Not a lot of Black Widow in this issue. No, there is some Black Widow in this issue. As a matter of fact, she ends up getting accused of murder by the end of this issue, which leads into a future storyline, kind of with the public turning on Black Widow. This next issue is the one that doesn't have much Black Widow in it. She's in just a little bit of it. Daredevil number 86. So the one I just showed you was from 1971. This one is from 1972. John Buscema doing the artwork on this. So in this issue, we have Matt Murdock announcing his engagement to actress Karen Page. But don't worry, before the issue's over with, the engagement gets broken. And Matt kind of turns back to his friendship with Natasha Romanoff. And of course, during the time that he was engaged, she was pretty heartbroken about that because she still had feelings for him. So that's kind of the events of this issue. So the Black Widow run / co-headline with Daredevil lasted quite some time. I think it started with issue 81 and went through like 124. So those are the issues that I'm really working and focusing on. One thing that I like about these Daredevil comic books from this era is the page layout. And the amount of panels that they had and kind of the shape of the panels is a little bit different than from the classic norm that I remember of superhero comic books. The panels are a little bit bigger and not quite as many panels, usually just 4 on a page. And I kind of like that format a lot too. So here we have Gerry Conway writing the story, Gene Colan doing the interior artwork. That was the exact same situation in the previous Daredevil issue that I showed you as well. So hopefully more Daredevil into my collection is something that you'll see forthcoming on my channel. That's the plan, at least. Also forthcoming on my channel is a new collaboration with my friend John's Comics with Kids. We're going to talk about exactly what we're doing. You've probably seen me tease this on Instagram a little bit the last several days or so. But tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central on John's YouTube channel, we're going to do a live, kind of spilling out the details of this new YouTube series that we're going to put together. But if you like Silver Age, you should check it out. If you like Marvel Comics, you should check it out. If you like DC Comics, you should probably check it out. So all the details tomorrow night, and then next week in my Comic Book Editions Volume 197 video, I'll talk a little bit more about this new monthly series that I'm going to be doing with John too. I'm excited about that. It's going to be fun. I have my back issue of the week YouTube short up on my channel. Have you checked it out? You should. If you haven't, 60 seconds about a back issue that's in my comic book collection. This one ties in with Flag Day. Fanboys Live and the Retro Review is coming up this weekend, and it is a Silver Age 3-issue DC classic that I'm excited to share with you. So I'll probably actually talk a little bit about that in my live with John's Comics with Kids tomorrow night too. And I say tomorrow night, assuming that you're watching this video on its original drop date of Tuesday. If you're watching this video on Wednesday, June 12th, the live is tonight. And if you're watching the video afterwards, it's already happened and you can catch it on the rewind. And then our first show with John will be next Wednesday, June 19th, live here on my YouTube channel. So that's kind of what's in the works and what's coming up. I look forward to visiting with you on these upcoming lives and, of course, for our next Comic Book Editions video, Volume 197, here as normal on my YouTube channel. Have a fantastic week. Thanks again for stopping by to visit today, and take care. Bye. Series, and they're doing a whole month of Dazzler.